Hello, this is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. And we're talking about how to look inside here on Facebook Live, A Course in Miracles with Earl Purdy. And I want to give you the guidelines for the course. I want to give you the guidelines for A Course in Miracles, sung by Brother John Christmas. Welcome to Course in Miracles on Facebook Live with Earl Purdy. Here we go. You're welcome, Les. Are you ready? Are you ready? Remember, these are the guidelines to A Course in Miracles.
I need not believe the ideas. I need not believe the ideas. I need not believe the ideas. I need not accept the ideas. I need not accept the ideas. I need not accept the ideas. And none of this will matter. None of this will matter. None of this will matter, no, because their use will give them meaning and show me that the ideas are true. I need not welcome the ideas. I need not welcome the ideas. I need not welcome the ideas. And some of these ideas I'm gonna actively resist. Hey, hey. Some of these ideas I'm gonna actively resist. Hey, hey. Some of these ideas I'm gonna actively resist. And none of this will matter. None of this will matter. None of this will matter, no, because their use will give them meaning. I say their use will give them meaning and show me that the ideas are true. Show me that the ideas are true. Come on and show me that the ideas are true. Come on and show me that the ideas are true. Come on and show me that the ideas are true. Come on, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Loving Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit.
Hey, mighty companions, I'm Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to Facebook Live, A Course in Miracles. And listen.
Now some of these ideas I'm gonna find hard to believe. Some of these ideas I'm gonna find hard to believe. Some of these ideas I'm gonna find hard to believe. And some of these ideas are gonna seem quite startling. Some of these ideas are gonna seem quite startling. I am not asked to judge the ideas at all. I am not asked to judge the ideas at all. I am not asked to judge the ideas at all. 'Cause none of this will matter. None of this will matter. None of this will matter, no, because their use will give them meaning. I say their use will give them meaning and show me that the ideas are true. Ideas are true, come on and show me that the ideas are true. Come on and show me that the ideas are true. Come on and show me that the ideas are true. Show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Holy Spirit, show me that the ideas are true. Let the ideas show me that the ideas are true.
That's right, Brother Mark. This is a great song. That music is by John Christmas. John Christmas. Go to www.johnchristmas.com for this music. Hello, mighty companions. I'm Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles. We're going to be continuing in the section called Looking Within. Looking Within, Chapter 12, Section 7, in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. Looking Within, we're going to be on page 230. Page 230 in the text of A Course in Miracles. Chapter 12. It's the section is called Looking Within. Don't you know it's time to look within? It's time to look within. We're going to be starting on page 230, and we're going to start with paragraph 5 on page 230 in the text. As you know, I've been doing A Course in Miracles for 40 years. I've been teaching it full time for over 30 years. And one of the things that the Course in Miracles has really impressed on me over and over again, and on anybody that reads it, that it's not about analyzing the ideas in A Course in Miracles. It's about remembering them. So I call myself the Divine Remembrance Teacher, the Divine Repetition Teacher, DRT. And I love to have a good time. I love music. I love the truth. So I'm going to do the Course in Miracles in plain language, and sometimes I'm going to substitute some of the other words that the Course in Miracles, some of the other meanings and definitions that the Course in Miracles gives for these words. So paragraph 5 says, you see what you expect. You see what you expect. You see what you expect. And you expect what you invite. You see what you expect, and you expect what you invite, which means that what you are seeing in your life right now is what you expect. It's what you expect to see in your life right now. What you see in your life right now is what you expect to see in your life right now, according to the Course in Miracles. What you see in your life right now is what you expect to see in your life right now. What you see in your life right now, according to the Course in Miracles, is what you expect to see in your life right now. According to the Course in Miracles, what you invite into your life is what you expect in your life. I want you to hear these. I want you to really hear that. You see what you expect. Do you know that you see what you expect to see? And that you see what you invite. So you say, I see what I expect what I invite. So what you see is what you expect and what you invite. That relationship that you're in, you invited it. That situation you're in, according to A Course in Miracles, you expected it. You may not be aware of it. It says, your perception is what? What you see is the result of your invitation. Whatever you are seeing in your life is the result of your invitation. Now, notice I said what you are seeing. The way you see things, you're inviting the way you see things. The Course in Miracles says your perception is the result of your invitation. Your perception is coming to you as you sent for it. Your perception is coming to you as you sent for it. Your perception is coming to you as you sent for your perception. Your perception is coming to you as you sent for your perception. Your perception is coming to you as you sent forth your perception. So I want to ask you a question. And that question is, whose manifestations will you see? Whose manifestations will you see? What do you want to see? Of whose presence do you want to be convinced of? Do you want to be convinced of the presence of love, or do you want to be convinced of the presence of fear? Do you want to be convinced of the presence of freedom, or do you want to be convinced of the presence of bondage? For you will believe in what you manifest. So whatever you have manifested in your life right now, if you want to know what you believe in, if you really want to know what you believe in, it's what you have manifested in your life. That's what you believe in. What you have manifested in your life is what you believe in. And the Course in Miracles says, as you look out, so will you see in. What does that mean? It means that what you are seeing on the outside is actually a reflection of what you are seeing on the inside of your own mind. Whatever you're looking at is a reflection of what is in your own mind. Do you know that whatever you see is a projection of what's in your own mind? There are two ways of looking at the world. Do you know that there are two ways of looking at the world? There's a way of looking at the world that gives you total peace, total joy, and total fulfillment. And there's a way of looking at the world that only gives you fear and anger and conflict. I know this sounds simple. That's because the truth is simple. The truth isn't complicated. It's simple. You see what you expect to see, and whatever you invite is what you expect. What you see is coming from your own invitation. Then you ask yourself the question, what do I want to see? Do I want to see love, or do I want to see fear? Then you realize that what you are seeing on the outside is a reflection of what's going on inside your own mind. Do you hear me? Listen to me now. Listen to me now. This is not complicated. Don't try to tell yourself this is complicated. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. Don't make this complicated. There are two ways of looking at everything. And those two ways of looking at everything is in your mind. And do you know that your perception will reflect the guidance you have chosen? What you're looking at is a reflection of the guidance you've decided to listen to. Are you aware that what you are looking at is a reflection of the guidance you have chosen? What you are looking at, what you are feeling right now, what you are experiencing right now is a reflection of the voice you're listening to. It's a reflection of the guidance you've chosen. Do you know that you can only hear the loving, truth voice, the voice of God, or are you listening to the voice of fear, the voice of the ego? There are but two voices. There are but two ways of looking at things. And if you want to know which guide you're listening to, if you want to know what teacher you are listening to, then tell me how you see things. Tell me how you're feeling right now, and I'll tell you who you're listening to. If you want to know which guide within you that you're listening to, just take a look at how you see yourself, how you see your world, and how you see your relationships. It will let you know which voice you are listening to. In that paragraph 5, there was one universal law after another universal law after another universal law. Now, the Jesus of the Course, that our loving guide, the Course says, I am the manifestation of the Holy Spirit. I am the manifestation of the loving right mind. And when you see me, when you see love, when you see the loving self, when you see the Christ within you, when you see that Jesus of the Course, when you see that love, it will be because you invited love. You invited the Christ within. You invited your elder brother Jesus who's not in the body. The Course says, do you know that the Holy Spirit, love, the Holy Spirit will send its witnesses? Do you want to see the witness of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses of love in your life? Do you want the witnesses to love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses to love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses to love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses? Do you want to see the witnesses to love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses to love in your life? Do you want to see the witnesses to love in your life? Notice I'm repeating the questions over and over again. I refuse to rush through this and for us not to hear what it's saying because our minds are so busy. Slow down, slow down, slow down the analytical part. Mighty companions, I love seeing your comments. Slow down. Love says it will send you its witnesses. So if you want to see the witnesses to love in your life, what do? You have to look at them. There are witnesses to love in your life, but you have to be willing to look at them. Are you willing to look at the witnesses to your abundance and your peace and your joy? Are you willing? Are you willing? It says, I will send you the Holy Spirit, the loving right mind, the voice for the Creator. Your inner teacher will send you its witnesses if you would but look upon them. Remember. Now you see what I'm saying, why I call myself the divine remembering teacher. What does it say in that next sentence on page 230 in the text? It says, for the Holy Spirit will send you the witnesses to love. But you must be willing to look at the witnesses that you are loved. And what's next? It says, remember always that you see what you seek. What you see is what you seek. You always see what you're looking to see. In any situation, you always see it the way you want to see it. In every situation, you are always looking at it the way you want to look at it in every situation. Do you know that that's what you are doing? You are seeing it the way you want to see it in every situation. You are seeing it the way you want to see it. And that's why you always see what you will find. Do you know that you always see what you will find? You see what you seek, for what you seek, you will find. You will seek, and you will find what you seek. You will find what you seek, and you seek, and you shall find. Now, the ego finds what it seeks. The part of you that has fear, the part of you that has insecurity, the part of you that feels separate from God, the part of you that feels angry, the part of you that feels inadequate, the ego finds what it seeks, and only that. If you are a negative, fearful person, you will keep finding things to be angry and upset about. Do you know that the fearful, guilty part of the mind does not find love? Someone that's full of anger and guilt and grievances and fear, the Course says the ego, that part of your mind, does not find love. So why is it that a fearful person, an angry person, a guilty person doesn't find real love? Well, the Course in Miracles says that if you are in your ego, if you are a guilty person, an angry person, and you are not in touch with your value, and you don't truly love yourself, you don't find love, because that's not what you are seeking. A person who doesn't love themselves or condemns themselves, they don't find love because they're not looking for love. They're looking for something that witnesses back their unworthiness, that fear, that upset. Yet, seeking and finding are the same. Seeking and finding are the same. Are you following along with me? I'm bringing it to life. The Course in Miracles says, do you know seeking and finding are the same thing? Now, what does it mean if it says seeking and finding are the same thing? Whatever I find is what I've been looking for, whether I realize it or not. Whatever you find, whatever you found, it's what you were looking for, whether you believe it or not. That's why seeking and finding are the same thing. If you want to know what you've been seeking, it's what you now have. Whatever you have, this is what you've been seeking. Whatever you have, the relationship you have, the situations in your life, the way that you see them, it's the way that you are choosing to see them. So that means that you are finding the perception of life that you're looking for. We are talking about perception when we talk about the Course in Miracles. We're talking about your interpretations. We're talking about the meaning that you give things. Since it's a choice, do you know that since you have a choice in the way that you could see things, then you have to admit that however you are seeing things is your choice. However you are seeing things, that's your choice. However you are seeing things is your choice. However you are seeing things, that's your choice. Now, if you are seeking for two goals, if a part of you wants love, but another part of you wants punishment or fear, then you are going to seek for two goals and you are going to find two goals. Are you aware that if you believe in anger and conflict and grief, and you also believe in peace and love and joy, then you're going to find both of them. It's going to go something like this. Part of my day was really wonderful. Part of my day was crappy. I see love coming out of my mate, and I also see a lot of fear and anger coming out of my mate. You see both of them because there's a part of you that's looking for each of them. There's a part of my mind that believes that people are loving and kind, and there's a part of my mind that believes that people are frightening and that they may hurt me. So what's the result of having those two ways of seeing things? I see those two things in my world. So if you're wondering where duality comes from, the up and the down, the love and the fear, the innocence and the guilt, it's coming because you believe in both of them. There's a part of you that believes that guilt is real. There's a part of you that believes that innocence is real. So since there's a part of the mind that believes that guilt is real, and there's a part of the mind that believes that innocence is real, you see both of them. You see both of them. And the Course in Miracles says, but you will recognize neither. Your mind always strives for integration. What does that mean when I say your mind always strives for integration? That means your mind is always trying to go toward oneness, joining. Your mind wants to head in the direction of oneness. And if your mind is divided between love and fear, then the Course says, your mind, if it's split, there's peace in my mind, there's craziness in my mind, there's happiness in me, there's sadness in me, there's a thought of lack in me, there's a thought of abundance in me. My mind is split between what's nice and what I see is not so nice. And if I want to keep the split, if you want to keep the two ways of seeing, if you want to keep the two ways of seeing, your mind will just say it has one goal, and even though it has two goals, love and fear, it'll still say it just has one goal. You know, I would be one of those people who's saying, I only want love in my life, I only want joy in my life, but I see conflict and peace, and I see lack and abundance. I see sickness and I see health. I see both of those things, but really I only want peace. So your mind will still believe your mind has one goal, even though you're seeing two different things in your life. And your mind is trying to make itself seem to be having one goal. But do you know the Course in Miracles says, if you see love and fear, conflict and peace, joy and sadness, you have two goals in your mind. Do you know that that means your mind is split? Your mind is split. If you see love and fear, attack and peace, happiness and cruelty, you have a split mind. There are two things you want to see because there are two different things that you're seeing. You are responsible for how you see things. 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 And the way you see things determine how you feel. The way you see things determines how you feel. Do you know that your feelings are coming from how you see things? How you see things, how you define things determine how you feel. Paragraph 7 on page 231 in the text of A Course in Miracles says, I said before that what you project, what you extend outward is up to you. Whether you project love or whether you project craziness, it's up to you. But do you know there's one thing you must do? Do you know that the Course in Miracles says there's one thing you are going to do, one thing that you must do? Do you know what that is? You are going to either project what's in your mind. In other words, it's in your mind, but you're going to say it's in somebody else's mind. It's in your behavior, but you're going to say it's in someone else's behavior. The Course in Miracles calls that projection. Or you are going to extend. So what does extension mean? Extension means what I see is connected to me. See, when I extend, then I say it is in me, and then I'm extending it to you. So I'll say you are the same as me. I'll feel like what I'm seeing is connected to me. That's extension. Projection is it's still in my mind, but I'm saying it is not in my mind. I'm the good one and everybody else is the bad one. I'm the innocent one and everybody else is the guilty one. I'm the nice one and everybody else is the unnice ones. I am the patient one and everybody else is impatient. I am the generous one and everyone else is stingy. That's projection. That's projection. Extension is this. I am innocent. I am innocent and you are innocent. I am innocent and you are innocent. You are love and I am love. You are love and I am love. You are free and I am free. You are free and I am free. You are truth and I am truth. That is extension. Projection is you are bad and I am good. You are sad and I am happiness. You are the opposite from me. I'm projecting a quality that is in my mind. But I'm saying it's not in my mind, it's in yours. Now, the Course in Miracles says, I've said before that what you project or extend is up to you. What you project is up to you. What you extend is up to you. But you must do one or the other. You must project or extend. For projection and extension is a law of mind. What is a law of mind? What is a rule of the mind? That you are going to project and see something that's in you, but you are denying it, or you're going to extend and you're going to see it and you're going to say it's in my mind. And you must look in before you look out. What happens? Before you look out, you always look in. So before you see something on the outside, you have to see it on the inside. Before you see something on the outside, you have to see it on the inside. Before you see something on the outside, you have to see it on the inside. Before you hear something outside, you have to hear it on the inside. Before you hear something outside, you have to hear it on the inside. Before you look out, he says you must look in. Before you look out, you must look in. So you first look in, then you look out. So what does that mean? This is so good. I need this so much. Do you need this? If you need this, please shoot out some heart emojis for me to let you know that you are appreciating what you're hearing, that it's thought-provoking. I want to see if I have somebody out there that's feeling the way that I'm feeling right now. I'm so grateful for the Course in Miracles, and I'm so grateful for you. And we have each other. Isn't that beautiful that we can come together like this? Let's thank God for this technology that allows us to come together like this, our mighty companions. And I look at all your comments. And please share my videos. I need your help. Share my videos. And so it says that this is what happens. It said, the Course in Miracles says that you had to look on the inside before you looked out. So whatever you're seeing in your life, you looked inside to see it. And the Course says, as you look in, what happens? When you look inside, what happens? You choose the guide for seeing. Okay, so first I look in, I choose which voice I'm going to listen to. Whether I'm going to listen to the voice that's going to make me feel afraid and upset and separate, or am I going to listen to the voice that makes me feel joyful and free? So first I look in, I choose whether I'm going to listen to the Holy Spirit, or I choose whether or not I'm going to listen to the ego. Thank you all for sending me the hearts. I love it. As you look in, you choose the guide for what you're going to see. And then you look out and behold its witnesses. That's why you find what you're looking for. Okay, let's go back. Okay, why do you find what you're looking for? Why do you always find what you're seeking? Because this is what now remember, when the Course in Miracles talks about finding what you're seeking, Do you know that the Course in Miracles is talking about content? In other words, it's talking about love or fear, joy or pain. The Course in Miracles is working at the level of perception. The Course in Miracles is working at the level of perception because it doesn't matter what you're looking at. All that matters is how you see it. Because how you see what you're looking at determines how you feel. How you see what you're looking at determines how you feel. And which guide you choose determines what you see. And there aren't but two guides. There's a voice in your mind that points you in the direction of love and happiness and peace. And there's a voice inside your head that points you to anger, guilt, projection, and upset. So you look inside yourself and you decide which voice you're going to listen to. And then you open your eyes and you see the result of the guide you chose. So whatever's happening in your perception right now, whatever you're seeing in your experience right now, however you're seeing your experience, that's because of the guide that you're listening to, the voice in your head that you're listening to. And the Course in Miracles says, this is why you find what you seek. You find what you seek because you look inside, you decide which part of you you're going to listen to, the part that's sane or the part that's insane. And then you see either sanity or insanity when you look outside yourself, depending on which part of your mind you chose to guide you. That's why you're finding the feelings that you have right now. So what else is the Course in Miracles saying? It's saying, which is really awesome, it's saying that what you want, do you know that what you want inside yourself, what you want to see inside yourself is what you're going to manifest, what you want to see inside yourself. You're going to manifest what you want to see inside of yourself. If I want to see peace and joy and happiness inside myself, I'm going to manifest it. If I want to see joy and peace and happiness and fun and laughter inside of myself, then I'm going to manifest it. And whatever I want to manifest, do you know that whatever a person wants to see inside themselves, that's what they're going to accept from the world. So you're going to accept what you want to see in yourself. So if a person treats you in a very abusive way, then at some level, there's a part of you that is abusing yourself in some way. And there's a way out. There's a way out. The way out is to change what you want to see in yourself. Don't argue with whether or not you asked for the abuse or who asked for the abuse. Don't get stuck there. What you want to focus in on is the way out of a feeling of abuse. And do you know that the way out is to decide you really and truly want to manifest love and truth in yourself more than ever before? Because you will manifest that kind of a perception, a loving, peaceful perception. And then you will accept love and peace from the world because you put it there. You will accept kindness and joy and support and freedom from the world because you put it there by wanting joy and peace and happiness within yourself. Then the Course says you will accept what you think you deserve. You will accept what you believe that you want. So if you want something in the world, if you want love in the world, if you want friendship in the world, if you want joy in the world, if you want fun in the world, if you want happiness in the world, put it there. Put it there. Put it there. So how do you put love and joy and happiness in your world? How do you put it there? Well, the Course in Miracles says it right here. You put it there by wanting it. You put it there by wanting it. I put love in my world by wanting love. I put it in my world. You put peace in your world by wanting it. You put it there by wanting it. Above all else, I want love. Above all else, I want unity I want peace. I want happiness above all else. You put it in the world by wanting it. This section is called Looking Within, and it's telling you exactly how to look within. It's also a section that's telling you exactly how to manifest a loving, peaceful perception of your life. So listen to this at least 4 times, and listen to it with an open mind at least 4 times. So what is an open mind? An open mind is a mind that believes that it doesn't know everything. An open mind is a mind that doesn't believe it's a know-it-all, that it knows everything. The Course in Miracles says, when you think you are projecting what you don't want, when you think you're getting rid of what you don't want, it's still because you do want it. Sometimes when you think you're getting rid of something, you really still want it. You know that's true. Sometimes when you think you're getting rid of a relationship, that's a relationship you still want. Sometimes you think you're getting rid of your anger, you know that's an anger that you still really want. Sometimes it says, when you think you are projecting what you don't want, it's still because you do want it. When you think you're projecting what you don't want, it's because you still want it. This leads directly to dissociation. Now, what is dissociation? Well, dissociation means this. You have 2 goals. I want love, I want peace. I want to forgive you and I don't want to forgive you, for instance. But I perceive those 2 goals in 2 different places, 2 different parts of my mind, or I'll see that goal of anger and upset being outside, and I'm just the one who wants peace. So I have 2 goals, love and joy, to punish Earl and to reward Earl. I keep those 2 goals separate from each other because I've made the 2 goals different from each other. So if I have 2 goals, I love me and I don't love me, I believe I'm guilty and I believe I'm innocent and I want to see my punishment and I also want to see my rewards. If I have 2 ways of looking at things, the Course in Miracles says, the mind then sees a divided world outside itself. Do you see a divided world? Do you see a divided world outside yourself? Do you see a lot of separation, a lot of differences? Do you see conflict in your perception of the world? The Course says, when you have 2 different goals for yourself, when you have 2 different ways that you feel about yourself, there's a part of me that believes I deserve the best that life has to offer, and there's another part of me that thinks I don't deserve the best life has to offer. So I have a divided mind, and so I see a divided world. I see a world with people who seem to love themselves and are very kind and giving, and I also perceive a world that it looks like people are very selfish, and all they think about them is themselves, and they just look out for themselves. That's because I have those 2 thoughts in my own mind. So when I don't want to own up to the fact that I'm the one with the anger and the grievances as well as the peace and the joy, and I'm blaming everybody else, the Course says I'll see a divided world outside myself. But I don't see it within myself. I don't see the division within myself. I don't really believe that there's a part of me that really hates people, and there's a part of me that has murderous thoughts, especially when I've been studying the truth, because I'm such a kind, loving person. So I don't see I have unconscious anger and unconscious guilt. But I'll see the guilt and the anger outside me in the world. I'll see the guilt and anger and the peace and the joy outside of me in the world. But I only see goodness inside Earl. Or I only see badness inside of me. It's like some people just convinced that they're just the crappiest things that ever lived and they don't have another perception of themselves other than that. Well, that person also is hiding the love that they feel for themselves. So they'll look out in the world and they'll see loving things, but then they'll think it could never happen to them. But they also see some negative things and they'll certainly believe that can happen to them. That's a person that is hiding their own loving nature from themselves. This gives the mind an illusion of integrity. This gives the mind, what gives the mind the illusion of integrity? To say all of the fear and upset and selfishness is outside of me, but my mind is just full of love for everybody. The Course in Miracles says, this gives my mind an illusion of integrity. I'm the good person. Everybody else is the bad person. The world is full of good people and bad people, but I'm a really good person. That's all it is. I love everybody. Or I could go, I'm the most pathetic thing that ever lived. Nobody loves me. I'm as crappy as I can be, but the world is full of loving people and fearful people. So I tell myself I'm not divided. And that enables me to believe that I am just pursuing one goal. But let me tell you, brother and sisters, if you see anger and upset and you feel anger and upset in your perception, and then you feel joy and peace and oneness in your perception, you have two goals. You have two goals. You have two goals. But you hide one of them from yourself so you can think you have one goal. And then you look outside yourself and you see the reflection of your two goals. You see what is in the world that seems to be wonderful and loving, and you also see what's in the world that seems like it's not so wonderful and loving. Do you hear me? 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 Do you hear me right now? 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 Now listen to me. Now listen to me. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want to see only love, you'll see nothing else. When all you want to see is love, that's all you're going to see. How will you know when you want to see only love? It will be the only thing that you see. How can you know when you really want to see only your abundance? You will see only your abundance. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. The contradictory nature of the witnesses you perceive is merely the result, the reflection of your conflicting wishes. So sometimes you see joy because that's what you invite, and sometimes you see and experience pain because that's what you invite. The Course calls that the contradictory nature of the witnesses you perceive. I see love and fear because I want love and fear for myself. I see innocence and guilt because sometimes I want innocence and sometimes I feel like I'm guilty and I want to be punished. He says, you have looked upon your mind. Whose mind are you looking at? You're looking upon your mind. And you are accepting opposites in your mind. You are accepting opposition in your mind. You are accepting opposition in your mind. What does that mean, to accept opposition in your mind? You have accepted that good is in your mind and bad's in your mind, that innocence is in your mind and guilt is in your mind. You've accepted that lack is in your mind and abundance is in your mind. You've accepted that sickness is in your mind and health is in your mind. You've accepted that God is in your mind and that ego is in your mind. You have accepted opposites in your mind. Having sought opposites in your mind, you have found opposites in your mind. But do not then believe the witnesses for opposition are true. Don't believe that all of the conflict and opposition is true, because the opposition in your mind, the conflict in your mind, attest only to your decision about reality. That means that everything that you see is returning to you the messages you gave, the perceptions you gave, the love you gave, the fear you gave, the joy you gave. Everything is returning to you with the messages that you gave the witnesses. If you make So how do you recognize love? How do you recognize love? How do you recognize love? And I really want to work with the book. So thank you, those who are working with the book, even though you don't have to for sure in order to take part. But one of the things I love is the Course in Miracles book. And I love to use the book to teach, because I don't believe there's anything that I could make up that could be more incredible than what the Course says. And that gives you a chance to learn how to read it easier, to follow along with me. So the last sentence in paragraph 8 says, the next to the last sentence, in paragraph 8, sentence 5 says, love too is recognized. That you recognize love. How do you recognize love? You recognize love by love's messengers. You recognize love by love's perceptions. You recognize love by the way that it looks. You recognize love by its messengers. Love exists, and love will send you its witnesses. Do you know that people can come into your life that witness love and truth back to you? You have a part of your mind that wants loving people, loving witnesses, incredibly powerful, loving experiences, and you can have those witnesses come to you. You must want only love and nothing else. You must want only love and nothing else. The Course says love too is recognized by its messengers. Do you know if you make love manifest? If you make love manifest in your life, what does it mean? What does it mean what does it mean to make love manifest in your life? What does it mean to make love manifest in your life? It says, if you make love manifest, love's messengers will come to you. If you make love manifest, love's messengers will come to you. If you make love manifest, its witnesses will come to you. If you let love, if you let freedom, if you let sanity, if you let truth and beauty come through you, then its reflections will come back to you because you invited the witnesses to love. You invited the messengers of love. So how do you know if you're inviting the messengers of love? How can you be sure that you're inviting love and joy to come to you? Let me tell you how you can tell if you're inviting love and joy to come to you. You will make it manifest within yourself. You will extend the joy yourself because I'm only going to give that which I want to receive. So if I'm really sincere about loving and wanting joy and peace in my life, I'm going to be someone that's giving it. That's how I know that I'm serious about having it. I know I'm serious about having it when I give it. I know I'm serious about having it. I'm sincere about having it when I give it. Until I'm giving it, I can really admit to myself that, I must not be serious about having love if I'm not giving it. I must not really be sincere about wanting peace if I'm the one that's raising the most hell than anybody around me. Its messengers will come to me because I have invited them by giving it. I'm going to do a quick recap in a minute so we can walk away remembering more of this. This is powerful. I'm going to listen to this over and over and over again, at least 4 times. I'm a full-time teacher of A Course in Miracles. I do it on a donation love offering basis. If you would like to make a financial expression of appreciation, I would certainly, truly, fully appreciate that. Go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com. And you can also use Venmo. My email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. And thank you in advance for sharing with me. I am available for one-on-one personal sessions. One-on-one, you and me, applying it to your experience so you can get what you want and what you deserve. They're called clarity sessions. Clarity sessions. Go to my website, look under clarity sessions, and it explains in detail my clarity sessions. Everything you need to know about it. And if you're open and receptive to it, then I will also use my 40 plus years working with soul, purpose, astrology, and numerology, which is just another way that spirit communicates to us. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Facebook Live on the Earl Purdy page. I do hardcore Course in Miracles geared especially towards studying Course in Miracles students. Anyone can watch, but that's a hardcore for Course in Miracles students. Thursday, 7 p.m. on Facebook Live on the Earl Purdy page. So, this is good. I love all the comments that I've gotten from you. All the comments. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Let's do a quick review. Are you ready? What did we hear? What did we hear? That you can't really see the Holy Spirit. That whatever you see in your life right now, it's what you are expecting to see in your life right now. So let me ask you, what do you want to see in your life right now? Do you want to see the manifestations of love, or do you want to see the manifestations of fear? And the Course says that even the Jesus of the Course is the manifestation of love. And that Even when you see the Holy Spirit, when you see love, it says it's going to be because you invited it. And that love will send you the witnesses to love. But you have to be willing to look at the witnesses to love. You're going to find whatever you seek. You're going to find whatever you seek. And the Course in Miracles is talking about perception, your interpretation of your experience. Your perception of your experience is your interpretation of your experience. It's the meaning you're giving your experience. That's the perception. That is what you see. You see what you've given meaning to. And there's not but two things that you can give meaning to. You can either give meaning to love and oneness and unity, or you can give meaning to fear and separation and guilt. Course says that people sometimes don't find love because they're not really seeking for love. They don't even believe they deserve love, so that they don't find love, they find pain. And the Course in Miracles says there are two goals that we have. One goal is to punish ourselves and not to see ourselves as totally beautiful and loving, and there's another part of us that sees the beauty and the love in us. And the part of our mind believes that it doesn't deserve love, but we may not know that. So it says we look out into the world and then we see love and fear because we believe that both love and fear is real. That we see innocence and we see guilt because we believe innocence and guilt are real. So the world of duality comes from us having two opposite belief systems that we are trying to carry at the same time. But your mind is always trying to have oneness. So your mind is going to deny part of what it's thinking. So you'll believe that you got one goal. You might believe that all you really want is love. But if you look outside yourself and you don't see only love, it's because you have two different desires in your mind. There's a part of you that believes you deserve love, and there may be a part of your mind that believes you don't. And if you see both of those things in the world, then you have a divided mind. So to be healed is to pursue one goal because you have accepted only one goal. You have to want only love and you'll see nothing else. You have to want only peace and you will see nothing else. That's a very important statement. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When I want only love, I will see nothing else. When I want only love, I will see nothing else. When I want only love, I will see nothing else. When I want only love, I will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. When we want only love, we will see nothing else. When we want only love, we will see nothing else. When we want only love, we will see nothing else. When we want only love, we will see nothing else. Mighty companions, I have really enjoyed today's lesson. I needed to hear it. I wanted to hear it. I am going to focus on only love and wanting nothing else. I'm not going to be in denial. If I see two different things, love and fear, anger and peace, I know that I have two desires in my mind. I know that I'm going to project, which means there's going to be something I'm seeing out there that's inside of my mind that I don't want to own up to, so I say it's in everybody else. Or I'm going to extend, which means I'm going to see what I'm looking at as being something in my own mind. That's okay, because I have to realize that if I want to see something in the world, I have to put it there. And that before I see anything on the outside, I looked inside my own mind, and then I decided which guide I wanted to listen to, either my ego or the Holy Spirit, love or fear. And then I opened my eyes, and I saw exactly what I was looking for. And I could tell which guide I listen to by what I see. If I see a lot of fear and conflict and chaos and sadness, I must be listening to the wrong voice, my ego. But if I see the peace and the beautiful and the joy, then I must be listening to the guide called the Holy Spirit. So listen to this many, many times, mighty companions. And I want to tell you and say to you, please share this video. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Love all of you. Love you, love you, love you, love you. So listen to this. May the course be with you. 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 You are entitled to miracles. See you next time.